Hello friends, today I want to have a free flow talk on pain. In present time many of us are going through all kinds of pain. There is physical pain, mental or psychological pain, financial pain, social pain. Many kinds of pain people are enduring in present time. Physical pain is essentially something that belongs to the body. So a headache or a stomach ache is a physical pain. Mental or psychological pain includes mental illnesses, anxiety, depression. So, this belongs to the area of psychological pain or any kind of psychological suffering, a hurt or a betrayal, overwhelming emotions. This also belongs to a kind of psychological pain. Then, financial pain. We are going through a lot of financial insecurity, economic instability, and financial hardships and crisis in present time. So that is a financial pain. Social pain, you can see how the social structure is changing, social system is collapsing, and more people are finding themselves isolated, uh, and nuclear families are breaking into isolated individual person living alone in the house, and relationships falling apart, right? People are finding difficult to trust, difficult to love. So this is all kind of social pain, right, that we can say. So all kinds of pain are there in present time. Now what is a pain actually, right? Let us talk about this. What I feel, essentially pain is a messenger. Any kind of pain that you are enduring in any area of life is kind of message. The pain is a messenger trying to give you message that something is wrong in that field, and you must have done certain action that has resulted into this pain. For example, if let's talk about somebody having an salmonella infection, right, and is developing an abdominal pain and fever, right? So the pain that would be experienced by the person in the abdomen, the pain is just a messenger trying to tell you that something is wrong with your intestine. A bacteria, foreign bacteria, has invaded and infected your intestine. So it is giving, number one, a message to you. Number two, you must have done something to generate this pain. So you must have had eaten unhealthy food, right? Or unhygienic food that would have resulted into this infection. So pain says two things. You must have done something at some point of time, knowingly or unknowingly, and that has resulted into this trouble. And the pain is also telling you the second thing, that something is wrong in that area, right? So I'm starting with the physical pain because it's very easy to understand the physical pain, and then we can stretch it to the psychological pain. So when a salmonella gets infected by somebody having an unhealthy food, right, and gets a salmonella infection, so what would really happen to that person? The immune system will react, right? And not you, you don't have to tell your WBC count and your interleukins and cytokines to go and attack, right? But it happens automatically, right? It's a intelligence of the body that directs the immune system to kill the bacteria, which is a foreign element of your body. So that attack, immune system attack, will start, and your body will generate reactions in form of fever or vomiting or abdominal pain or inflammatory process that will be going on in your intestine. So all this will happen automatically. Now one thing you realize, right, that the intention of the body is good. The intention of the body is to kill that harmful bacteria so that the body remains healthy and achieves its optimum state of health, right? So the intention of the intelligence of the body is good, but the process is not really pleasant. The process is unpleasant in the sense fever is not a pleasant experience. Abdominal pain and vomiting is not a pleasant experience, right? So, though the process is aiming to remove that bacteria and you reach optimum health, the process might be unpleasant, right? Now, this is about the physical pain. Now, let's talk about the psychological pain, right? Same principle you apply to the psychological field, right? Just like salmonella infection, salmonella bacteria is a foreign element to your body, you might be carrying some faulty ideas inside your mind, right? That many faulty assumptions we have. Suppose that many of us feel that we want things to happen in a particular way, and if those things happen in our assumed and expected way, only then it is correct, otherwise something is wrong. Now this means that you are carrying some faulty ideas about life, because there is no such contract between you and life that whatever you expect to happen, it would happen in that particular way only, right? So this is a faulty idea that you are carrying. It's a foreign element that you are carrying, which is against the nature, right? Nature doesn't have any of such laws, right? Because there are 8 billion people living on this planet, and if all of them feel that what we want to happen, it should happen that way, nature can't run, right? So there's no such thing. But we carry such faulty assumption in our mind, and then life has its own way to, arrange circumstances so that this faulty assumption is challenged, right? And the process is unpleasant, because you will then feel hurt, or feel kind of, how dare my desire cannot get fulfilled, how dare my expectation cannot fulfill. Because we have tendency to operate from the field of self or ego, which is a false psychological center that I have talked in my previous um, YouTube video about I, me, and mine. So the circumstance would get arranged in such a way that this faulty assumption or faulty logic that you are carrying psychologically will get challenged. And the more you would resist to it and not learn the lesson, the more the you would generate suffering for yourself, right? So that is why it is said that suffering is in your hand, right? Pain is inevitable, but suffering, right, is in your hand. If you would learn the lesson in the first experience of pain, you can really minimize your suffering. But if you would not learn lesson, if you operate from the position of arrogance, of ego, then the circumstance would come again and again in order to challenge that faulty assumption, and you will generate a lot of psychological suffering, right, for you. So this is one thing about the psychological suffering, that a faulty assumption, faulty ideas about yourself, about the other people, about the life is a kind of foreign element, just like salmonella bacteria, and the nature would react, right? And circumstances would get arranged in order to resolve and remove that faulty assumption, and the process would be unpleasant, right? So this is one context of psychological pain. Another psychological pain is that you are carrying some psychological weaknesses, right? Which is kind of positioning you from below to the below of your optimum, right? Then also the circumstance would get arranged. For example, you are too gullible, or you are too naive and too trusting and too innocent, right? And you just trust everyone at face value, right? So this is a kind of weakness, right? Though it's not a mistake, it's not a kind of karmic mistake that you have wronged someone, but you are carrying some weaknesses inside yourself, and This is not how your optimum state is supposed to be. So the life will again arrange circumstances in such a way that this weakness, right, will be attempted to get removed, and the circumstance will force you to ponder and go inside and think that I'm too naive and I'm too gullible, and people are taking advantage of this weakness of mine, and I must rectify it, and I must correct it, so that people do not, predators do not harm me. So you will be forced to kind of acknowledge this weakness that you are carrying, and you will be compelled to remove this weakness, the psychological weakness that you are carrying, right? To sum up, right, salmonella infection is a foreign element and the body would react to remove it. Or if you have calcium deficiency, which is also kind of weakness, then you will have this bone pain, right, the joint pains. And this is also a message that you have not eaten anything wrong from outside, but your body is having deficiency of nutrients and it is generating pain, right? And the contemporary to the psychological thing, right, you are carrying faulty assumption, so that will be challenged. There you are carrying some psychological weakness, and so that will be challenged, so that you reach to an optimum state, right? So this is about the psychological and physical pain. And I'm not talking about the economic and social pain. You can apply the same principle to them also. For example, economical pain, let us talk about, right? You made some investment in wrong company, or you didn't really had a complete research about the firm in which you are investing, or you trust a wrong person. So you will experience a financial hardship, a financial betrayal, right? Because you didn't have you made a mistake, right? You didn't complete your research and then invest in a particular firm, so then you will experience financial pain. So basically what I want to say is, any kind of pain that would be coming to you would be with some cause. There must be some cause, right, for that. Ultimately, a pain is a messenger, right? It wants to give you a message, and the pain has some positive side also, that when you endure a pain, you develop lot of endurance, right? You develop resilience. Pain also make you grounded, right? If you are too arrogant, the pain that would be coming to your life will humble you, right? Pain gives wisdom, right? After going through a pain, a financial mistake, right, you would be then careful in the future. Your position would be once bitten twice shy, so you will be more wise, and you might guide other people also to not to repeat the same mistake again. So pain leaves wisdom behind, right? Pain also leaves a legacy. If you have endured a lot of pain, then you can always kind of feel that if some another pain might come in my life, I have been through what not. I have been through tornadoes in my life, so this is just a small thing and I will get through it. So the future pain seems like storm in teacup, right? So pain also leaves a legacy. So pain has some plus point also, that it is ultimately our friend, a messenger who wants to give us a message, and who makes us more wise and grounded, and it gives us lot of endurance, lot of resilience, right? So it has some positive side as well. So don't think that any kind of pain you are enduring is having just a negative side. It has it If you shift your perspective a little bit, right, and if you see the same pain from slightly different angle, you might get a new insight to the same pain. right? So think about it, reflect on what I shared with you, and tell me what is your opinion on that.